morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on in. It's 1TS Daily right here at One True Sport. I'm your host, Zack Heydorn from Brass Ring Media. Hello, hello. Boy, oh boy, man, it has been a bit. It's been a bit. I had a spell of the COVID, and it knocked me on my butt for about 3 days last week. So if you're out there wondering, hey, should I get my vaccine or should I get a booster? Whoo, get it. Get it. It was a rough go for a while. And I was just about to go get the booster too. So, of course, woe is me. But I'm back on the mend, feeling good. I don't know that I would necessarily pop a negative test right now, but I feel normal. And I guess that's the most important thing. So thanks for bearing with me. Apologies that we didn't get to do a show, but you would not have wanted to see a Zack Heydorn hacking up a lung and, just being sick. So alas, we had to take a little bit of a slight hiatus, but I'm super pumped to be here. And we got a lot to talk about. Hello to everybody who's joining us live on YouTube. Hello to everybody who's joining us on Twitter. If you are downloading this after the fact as an audio podcast and you're a One True Sport member, hello to you too. And thanks so much for your membership. If you're interested in One True Sport membership, you can head over to onetruesport.com right now and check out our membership options. We've got a lot of them. There's 3 different tiers that you can get involved with, all of which include this show as an audio podcast. So you're not going to want to miss it. You're not going to want to miss it. That membership gets you access not only to this show, but all sorts of pro wrestling legends in the pro wrestling business, like top tier talent. I'm talking RVD. I'm talking Kurt Angle. I'm talking Arn Anderson, Medusa, and many, many more. So don't miss out on your opportunity to become a member. OneTrueSport.com is how you do this. If you are watching the video live and you can help us out by hitting like, I know it seems trivial. I do, but it helps us out greatly. And we certainly would appreciate that. And it helps us grow. It helps us kind of take One True Sport where we want to take it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, well, hey, you got to subscribe. Just hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our live content. I got the live chat open. Amy's in there this morning. Amy says, good morning. Glad you are back. Yes, thanks, Amy. Great to see you with us here today. It's good to be back. It really is. It's good to be back. I missed you guys, and I missed the show. I don't like missing the show for whatever reason. But hey, sometimes you got to do what your body's telling you to do, right? So thank you, Amy. I also have so live chat's open. People are filing in there right now. Listen, this show is predicated on you and me talking back and forth about current happenings in pro wrestling, the dirt in pro wrestling. That's what we do here. So definitely hope you use the live chat. I certainly hope you do. I also have the super chats open as well. If you're able to make a contribution to the show or, just throw a little change in the tip jar, if you will, ask a question that we can use the platform here to discuss and answer. Also, if you just want to make a comment that makes sure that we read, you can put it up in a super chat as well. So I thank you in advance for that. Andrew is in the chat. Just kicking me while I'm just get up, kicking me. Andrew says here, Caleb Williams, overhyped like Mercedes Moné. I said it and I meant it. Laughing emoji face. That's ice cold. Look, hey, look. Sporting the Bears today. The Texans are one of the best teams in the NFL, right? I mean, the Bears totally outclassed, totally outmatched. I'm really on both sides of the ball. I mean, the Bears defense played pretty well. I didn't expect too much, I guess, in this game. Now, next week they got the Colts. Things have to go better. Things have to go better for young Caleb Williams. He's got to have a game where it looks like he's not running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Yesterday you think he's still in the ice bath? Because he got sacked 7 times and hit way more than that. He had a rough night. But thanks, Andrew, I suppose. No, I'm kidding. Thanks, Andrew, for being here. Appreciate you, man. All right. let's talk a little bit of wrestling. We have plenty of time to talk football this week. I'm sure we will. But it was a pretty fun weekend. We didn't have like a major pay-per-view event. So it's been a while since we've not had that. Think about it. Like, we had All In, then we had Bash in Berlin, then we had All Out. That has been like the last 3 weeks of pro wrestling discourse, and we didn't have that. But we did have the return of Roman Reigns to SmackDown on Friday night. The SmackDown premiere on USA Network, so they're no longer on Fox. And Roman Reigns comes back. He comes back and he helps Cody Rhodes fend off the bloodline after Cody defeated Solo Sikoa inside of a steel cage. You had Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu challenge Cody and Roman to a tag team match. Cody Rhodes initially saying, "Hey, I'm done with the bloodline. That's your fight, Roman. I got nothing to do with that anymore, and I'm not going to be helping you out." But then by the end of the show, they do find the ability to coexist, and they will now be challenging Fatu and Solo Sikoa in a tag team match at Bad Blood coming up here in a couple weeks. So I ask you this question: what do you think of the return of Roman Reigns? I thought the stuff inside the cage was kind of meh. Well, first of all, I want to take a step back. The new Roman Reigns entrance music is horrendous. I don't understand, like, coming up with entrance music that takes away part of the fan engagement with you. Like, this Roman Reigns had a brand with that music, and that entrance music was just screamed alpha. It screamed champion. And even when he was a heel, you had fans, when they heard that initial moment of the song hitting, they would stand up on their feet, throw the ones up in the air. Like, and now you took that away. You took that away from your fans. I'll never understand why you would do that if you were WWE. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I think just fundamentally that has hurt his return. I'm sorry, but I'll say it. And his return's not bad and it's not awful, but I think it's hurt his return. That said, what we saw in the cage, we've seen already. We've seen it 2 other times. Roman coming out, fighting the bloodline, only to get kind of overtaken by them in the end. I was lukewarm on that. It's like, okay, we've kind of been there, done that. We've seen it. We need to hear from Roman. We need to hear Roman talk about what it means to be back, what it means to not be the champion, what it means to be fighting the bloodline, all of these things that we haven't gotten to this point. And luckily, we did get that later in the show. And I loved the promo that he cut in the main event segment. I thought that was some of Roman's best mic work to date. He, was himself. He didn't try to be babyface Roman Reigns. He was just Roman Reigns, slightly skewed a little bit, and that's that. And like, the audience reacted for him, and I think that's the right way to present Roman. Like, you don't want to water him down. You don't want to take away the arrogance. You don't want to take away the confidence. You don't want to take away the swagger. That's what he brings to the table. That's who he is. That's what was missing in that first run as a babyface. When people weren't really behind him, because I think people saw that, hey, like, that's not Roman. Like, we know that. He has a bit of arrogance to him. He has a bit of swagger to him. You don't want to take that away and make him just cookie cutter babyface. And I'm so glad that they didn't do that. They just let him go out there and just be the same Roman Reigns that he's been. And just cut a promo with just a little bit of a different tone, slightly, against a heel group of guys like the Bloodline. That's smart. I also really thought it was effective to present Cody and him as like rivals and adversaries. I mean, look, they've been through too much together. 2 WrestleMania main events, beatdowns galore, 2 matches. They've each have 1 win over the other. Like you could not go into that and just treat this like coming together of those 2 as like a nothing thing. Like it has to mean something. And it has to be a little dramatic. There has to be a little bit of an edge there. There has to be a hint of, I don't like you, because they're rivals. They're on the same team now, but they are rivals. And you want to tell that story because that's how both guys would and should react. Like both guys should be wary of the other. And I thought they struck the right tone with that. I thought Cody coming into the ring and confronting Roman and saying, hey, this was your WWE. Like was a good flex for him. It was a good flex for him to make, in front of the biggest star that the company has. Like, hey, yeah, you were that guy. Now I'm that guy. So you can take a little bit of a backseat. Like, good flex. Not overtly heel either. He didn't come across as like a bad guy. He just came across as the guy. And I think that was really, really important. So a good night at the office for WWE. Interesting to see them back on the USA Network. That just, again, every time they change channels, it's fascinating to me because it's just, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. But hey, it wasn't a show that felt like all that different. It had a slightly different coat of paint. Like it had new entrance, new logo, new opening theme, and all that is important to kind of defining like a new era of your show. So thumbs up on that. But outside of that, though, there wasn't much to, the product being any different. And I think that's smart. USA Network paid for the Smackdown that they know and love. So that's what they got with a couple tweaks and like I said, a new coat of paint. So let me get some caffeine there. So a good show overall. What do you guys think of Roman's return? I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the chat. Drop it in there, and we'll discuss those comments and potential questions here in a minute. Canada Spaceman says, "Who is a CM Punk clone?" Joking. Do I look like CM Punk? I'd take that, I guess. I wish I was a little as jacked as CM Punk looks right now, but take that as a compliment. So, thank you, Canada Spaceman. I appreciate you, and thanks for joining the show live. All right. Over the weekend, we had a TNA special pay-per-view event. This is one of the smaller ones. It was one of the ones that aired, on their Plus platform, Victory Road. And let's just run through the results here. I'm gonna pull them up on our screen. Okay, so we had Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. They defeated Casey Navarro and AJ Francis in a tag team match. We had Mike Bailey win the TNA X Division Championship against Zach Wentz. PCO and Rhino versus Steph DeLander and Matt Cardona essentially was canceled. Steph DeLander came out before the match and said that she has to have neck surgery and that she's not able to compete anymore. So that really rough news for her. It didn't sound good. It sounds like she's got a long road ahead, and yeah, I don't know. It's a bummer. When anybody has any kind of injury, that's tough, but neck injury, boy, that's not good. So Matt Cardona tried to get a little heat and attacked Rhino as this all wrapped up, but that was about it. So the match did not take place. Jody Threat and Danny Luna beat Masha Slamovich and Tasha Steelz to win the Knockouts tag team titles. We had Joe Hendry defeat Josh Alexander by submission. So that was a pretty big result. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers defeated Chris Bay and Ace Austin, and they won the TNA tag team titles. Jordan Grace defeated Wendy Chu, NXT's Wendy Chu, to retain her TNA Knockouts Championship. And then in the main event, Nick Nemeth beat Moose to retain the TNA World Championship. So that's TNA Victory Road. I listen. I thought it was a pretty good show. I thought it was a fun show to watch, on a Friday night. If you were just going to throw on some wrestling, that was a good show. I don't know. I double screened it, so I was watching SmackDown and I was watching Victory Road. SmackDown is just much more newsworthy, than TNA shows. But the TNA show was good. A fun watch. I think the match of the night to me was the match with Zach Wentz and Mike Bailey. Those two they went all out. They went over 15 minutes. They really hit some really unique, interesting spots. Mike Bailey is just something else to watch. He is just such a worker in there, and he's just so precise with everything that he does. So I enjoyed that one. I also enjoyed Joe Hendry versus Josh Alexander. They gave Joe Hendry a big win. Tapping out Josh Alexander, that is not that's not a nothing win. That's not a nothing statement. If you're in TNA, you want a match with Josh Alexander and you want the win. So on a small level, this is a big kind of stamp of approval for Joe Hendry in that company. Andrew says here, Zach doesn't believe in Joe Hendry. He should be ashamed. I still don't. It's not that I don't believe in him. I don't think he's this long-term. I don't think he's a long-term star, but I enjoyed the match quite a bit, and I like the idea of TNA going with him right now while they have him as hot as he is. So, yes, am I a long-term believer? No, but do I think they're doing the right thing now? Yeah, absolutely. Anthony's in the chat. Says, good morning. What's up, Anthony? Thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate you hitting play on the show. Hopefully you continue to come back if you can live. Thanks so much for stopping in. So yeah, that's those are the two matches that I would go out of my way to watch if I were you from TNA. But again, a good night at the office for TNA. They are a company who knows who they are. They know who they are. They know what they're not. They know who they're trying to be. And I think to that end, that's a good thing. I think sometimes in wrestling, it's easy to overstretch your bounds, and they don't. They stick and do their thing. Now, they need a new television, distribution strategy. It's just not, Access TV just doesn't reach enough people, but that's a conversation for another day. Victory Road, thumbs up for TNA. Good show. Let's go to some chats here. Let's see. Andrew says, anytime Roman is back, it's good for business. He elevates everybody. But where the hell is Paul Heyman? Yeah, he does. He really does. That show on Friday felt like a big deal because he was there. So, yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that. Where's Paul Heyman? He's selling that beatdown that he got. When he comes back, next to Roman Reigns, Pop City. That's coming. So just wait a little bit longer, Andrew. I think it may be as soon as Bad Blood. Or they might just wait until the old bloodline reunites. But either way, yeah, he's coming back for sure. Canada, Spaceman says, I'm not a Roman fan at all. Not at all. But that was a good ending to SmackDown this week. Yeah, why are you not a fan of Roman? I'm curious. Is it because of the baggage from his first babyface run, or you don't like his matches? Like, drop in the chat. We'd love to hear why you don't like old Roman Reigns. Okay, tonight is Monday Night Raw. WWE is going to go up against Monday Night Football again, and this is what they have on deck. They've got Natalya is going to face Zoe Stark. And by the way, this is from Portland. Damian Priest is going to go one-on-one with Finn Balor. I think that I'm reading this off of a website, and that is Dominic Mysterio, not Finn Balor. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor is happening at the pay-per-view. Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio is happening on this show. Bronson Reed is facing Braun Strowman. Finn Balor and JD McDonough are going to face the New Day for the tag team titles, and the show will feature the return of CM Punk. So I said it last week. I've been saying it for weeks. We need a promo from CM Punk here. We need to have a good CM Punk promo. Not one that just thanks the fans. Not one that's just, oh, God, lolly-da, I'm glad to be here. No, we need a solid, definitive, I am going to just go to war inside Hell in a Cell type promo. Like, he's got to find it. He's got to reach down, and he's got to find this somewhere. Like, it has to happen. He's got to deliver. He's got to step up. This is match 3. It's a huge match for the show. I imagine it's probably going to be in a conversation to be the main event. You got to put some babyface shine on this thing, and not in like a Cody Rhodes babyface way, but in a CM Punk way. He's been missing that, and he's got to find it if this is going to mean anything. If we just see it, a lackadaisical Punk promo again, come on, it's Hell in a Cell. It's go time. You're coming back from a massive beatdown at the hands of Drew McIntyre. It's time to do business. And this week is big for him to come out of the gate and show that he's not only willing, but able to like cut that kind of promo again. More coffee. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman too. That first match that they had was quite the spectacle of a big man match, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I'm looking forward to seeing the second go round, the rematch, if you will. So, hey, like, why not? Like, there's a place for these kind of matches on Raw, especially a 3-hour Raw. Or is it 2 hours this week? It'd be 2 hours. But either way, it has a spot, and so I'm excited to see what they do. And then, of course, Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio, like, that is gonna have heat behind it. Damian Priest has made himself into a pretty big star, and he still hasn't had like a true moment to get his hands on Dominic. A little bit in that tag team match from the last show, but not in a clean one-on-one way. So I think there's going to be some crowd heat for that too, and I'm expecting a pretty good match here. So a fun night on Raw, and we'll talk about it all tomorrow right here at 1TS Daily. Again, if you don't know, we are live here every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 Eastern, 10 Central, with this show. It's a week daily show. I love it. I love when you guys show up for it. And so join me tomorrow, and we'll talk Raw. We'll talk all the other news that pops up. Canada Spaceman jumped in and says, I never liked Roman since the Shield days. I sort of like the Shield, but I wish Seth and Dean had someone else. And I'm not Yes, okay. And I'm not a little kid who believes in his Superman punch. Plus, most of his promos I find boring. I think you're remembering like old Roman Reigns a little too much. But hey, to each their own, and made your case, Canada Spaceman. So thank you. Appreciate you doing so, and appreciate you being here. The comment. If you want more from me, we're gonna wrap up the show right there, guys. If you want more from me, you can head over to Brass Ring Media and check it out. We have our kind of niche in this marketplace is longer form analysis of pro wrestling. We have live shows on our YouTube channel every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Search for us on YouTube, Brass Ring Media YouTube. That's where all those live shows are. You can also get all of our live shows as a podcast. You can download us as a podcast. Just search Brass Ring Media in your favorite podcast app, and we'll come up. Subscribe so you get all that stuff live. We also have our written work on Substack, and that is the best place to get that. Again, Brass Ring Media Substack. It's really great written work from the team. I've got stuff up there. And a ton more. So I think you'll get a lot of value there. Just Brass Ring Media Substack. And if you could subscribe on YouTube, that'd be a huge, huge help. As for One True Sport, again, onetruesport.com is where you can go for membership. All sorts of different perks for being a membership at One True Sport. Don't miss it. Our merch store is there too. You can pick up some 1TS Daily merch. Hey. And once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video. It helps us out so much. And I thank you in advance for that. Until tomorrow, guys. Thanks so much for joining me again. Sorry for the hiatus. We're back, and it's going to be a really, really fun week. Have a great Monday. This has been 1TS Daily. I'm your host, Zack Heydorn, and we'll see you tomorrow right here at One True Sport. See ya.